Good afternoon and welcome. Another edition of Leaving the Yard. You're on what is now just ESPN today. We got a Razorback baseball game coming up here in about an hour. That's, I guess, a little important.
Well, yeah. If you win, you go to the College World Series. You lose, you lick your wounds.
You go to the College World Series and watch.
Yeah. So,
you'll note from the opener, we still have not changed the opener for Leaving the Yard. Jason Boston's last day was Friday. Tony Kirk back in the big chair with a little chair.
I think we should keep Boston's ambiance around for a while. I just want to
got one of his socks. Does that count for anything?
Really?
Yeah.
And how did that happen?
Well, it's a long story. It has to do with a groundhog. Well, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you'll stop right there if you're smart.
But anyway, a box of chocolates and a sock.
Okay. But I think we should keep Boston's persona around for a while.
Yeah.
Boston did a tremendous job. And, I'll be honest, I was in no hurry to get back on this presentation. It seems like it's probably a little better without me.
You've been reading the emails again, have you?
No, I got ears myself. I can hear. This guy's probably better than I was at doing that. So
he's off to his new thing now.
He's got the real job that gets in the way of your radio career sometimes.
Tends to happen occasionally, yes.
So, I'll be honest. I kind of feel like, I'd like to think I'm Nick Foles, but I'm probably not. I'd like to think I'm going to step in and do a better job.
Win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't really see that. So, Boston was really good at this.
Boston was good at this.
So, now, when you and I started, there was no pressure because you'd had a real radio partner, and so
nobody had any expectations.
Yeah, there were no expectations from me because everybody knew I wasn't Jeff. Jeff was a longtime radio personality in the area, and so I stepped in, and we started our show, and there was really no expectations at all. But now that the franchise has been around for 15 years, and so there's some expectation of some type of quality.
I believe that initial broadcast is where the term clown show came from.
Yes, it did. Your favorite term these days.
That's where we originated that.
Well, we were still learning there. We were getting finding our way, they say.
Something like that.
So 15 years later, and, 2 years ago, I signed off, you signed off, we all signed off, and look, here we are 2 years later, and we're back at it again.
Everything comes full circle.
Just when you think you're out.
That's right. They draw you back in again.
Yeah.
903-255-7938 is our number since we're coming at you from the FM studio only this afternoon. Again, the Razorbacks and South Carolina set to play Game 3 of the Super Regional up in Fayetteville. Boy, they packed that house yesterday. 11,000-plus people at Baum for an outstanding series between the Gamecocks and the Razorbacks. I turned the Longhorns win today.
Yes,
there I saw 4-1 was the last score I followed.
Ended up winning 5-2.
Well, there you go.
And really got lucky in the ninth. The Tennessee Tech had 2 runners on in the ninth and made it very close. People always, and I was guilty of this too. I didn't know a lot about Tennessee Tech. I really thought they were a Cinderella. They had 8 guys drafted.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact.
Horns had 4.
Well, Horns are a little younger, though, aren't they?
They're greenhorns, that's what they are. But that said, that's a very good Tennessee Tech team. That is not an underdog ball club. And the kid Page that they brought in today is just an excellent pitcher. He's, they were talking about today, he's only 5'10". If he was 6'3", he'd have probably been a first-round pick. His stuff is so good. And the Horns, he shut them down the last part of the game on Friday. Today, they waited too long to bring him in. The Horns had already put 4 on the board.
Well, they put 4 up by the 4th inning. It was 4-1.
Yeah, and they probably should have started that kid. Yeah. That was their mistake. But, he's been coming out of the pen all year, long relief and things. And
their mistake was they fired up the Longhorns on Friday.
A little bit.
Cody Clemens took it personally.
Yeah. Well, he heard him again today.
He heard him again today, yes. Yeah. Which is pretty good indication why he's a first-round draft choice.
Yeah.
He may be the real major league deal. Not just a real college deal.
Not a lot of second basemen with that much pop.
No. Of course, there aren't aluminum bats in the majors either.
Yeah.
He's getting an awful lot of carry.
Is it aluminum now or is it composite?
Whatever it is, they're not using them in the next level.
Yeah, it's a different bat.
Right.
It's a true wood bat.
Right.
So, I agree. But he's come a long way in the fact that he now has opposite field power that he did not have before.
Yes, indeed.
But, there's always going to be the suspicions about the young man.
Because of his daddy's name?
Because all of a sudden he's discovered power.
Oh,
he hasn't been a power hitter.
Power pitcher.
Yes, and this kid wasn't a power hitter. Now all of a sudden
he's Brady Anderson.
He is. He may have joined the Brady Bunch.
Exactly. By the way, coming up on the program today, Michael Florick is going to join us at 5:30. He is a writer.
Is that the guy from Law and Order?
No.
Okay.
No, that was no.
That's Dan.
Yeah, Dallas Morning News, who's going to talk to us a little bit about a couple of things. The UIL baseball tournament that happened this weekend, the championships, and B, tomorrow's big day. UIL's got their annual meeting tomorrow, and there are a handful of fairly important discussion topics up on the agenda, including hosting first-round playoff games beyond just in football 5A and 6A. They're actually looking at sliding downstream to the 4 3s, 2s.
That should be a no-brainer.
Yes, and they're going to make that vote tomorrow. Also, there is some discussion about doing the same thing with baseball. Football's where this conversation's starting. Baseball's probably going to be the secondary thing.
It should be both.
Wherever there's a chance for a
and it
district
should be
champion.
basketball.
Well,
it should be anywhere you got a 1-4 play-in.
The problem for basketball becomes, can you seat them in some of these places? That becomes a thing. If you're getting a playoff game and you're getting a big venue or a big crowd and you have a small venue,
I just don't think you have that many people show up for 1-4.
Probably
we've been in some.
Probably
we called a 1-4 this year where the 4 upset the 1.
Yes,
and they went to a smaller classification school to play.
Yes. Oh, I know. I agree. But that's our neck of the woods. That may not be a statewide thing, though.
I think it's
basketball too.
I think it should be all three.
Well, then we're going to talk about softball, and we're going to talk about girls basketball. We're going to talk about volleyball, and we're going to talk.
Why
they're
not?
not ready to go there yet.
They should be.
They're not ready yet. They start everything with 6A boys.
The only people who's going to be opposed to this is people who've built stadiums, and want to make money off playoff games.
A neutral game.
Yeah,
but it's only a first round. That's the beauty.
But
that's
a lot. There's sometimes stadiums hosting double and triple headers.
Yes, there are.
That's a lot of money for these folks that have built these stadiums. That are now, if you're in a neutral site zone,
you're sacrificing one game.
No, you may be sacrificing 3 ball games that first weekend. Mount Pleasant. How many times we see Mount Pleasant with a Thursday, Friday, Saturday ball game?
Yeah, but you're only losing the district champions. The only one going to host now. Everybody else is still a neutral site.
And so, if you're the Mount Pleasant School District, you just missed 3 games that first weekend.
Potentially. But there's others around. They're not
Those are the people who are going to cry foul.
They'll cry foul. Royce City will cry foul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're not hosting.
They're not hosting. No, that's right. So anyway, Michael's going to join us at 5:30 this afternoon. Tomorrow, Greg Tepper from Dave Campbell's is coming on board. We will visit with him. Today, Dave Campbell's named Josh Gibson the 4A Coach of the Year for 2017.
Well, certainly. That's a no-brainer.
Now, they haven't, I say named. They revealed it. They've got him already named in their magazine. They're just doing a little hawking for, hey, aren't you interested in getting the magazine?
That's good. I like that.
I do what I can here. They have already done their 5A and their 6A Coach and Teams of the Year. I'm assuming by the time we get Tepper on tomorrow, they probably will have named their 4A Team of the Year. Hawks are in the running for that.
It's good timing. I think they should be as well. I mean, here in Texarkana, we've already named a street after Coach. So.
Oh, we have?
Yeah, Gibson Lane.
That's him?
It's got the circle and everything. It's like a ring.
See, I thought it was Justin, not Josh. They named it after.
That's Gibson Lane, my friend. Right. It's got a ring right in the middle of it.
I got you. All right, we're going to take a break. 10 minutes after 5 o'clock, leaving the yard. You're on 94.1 FM, ESPN Texarkana. Back here in a couple.
Drink my wine, plowman, dig my earth. None will level on the mine. Nobody of it is worth. Hey.
righty, welcome back. 15 minutes after 5 o'clock, leaving the yard. You're 94.1 FM ESPN Texarkana. Not on the AM today because of the Razorbacks. Pregame for them is going to start about 5:30, and first pitch will be 6 o'clock. Game 3 Super Regional, tied up at a game apiece with South Carolina. In the studio today, no more Jason Boston. It's leaving the yard. Zach and the Professor.
It is back to being Zach and the Professor.
That's right. And I ripped out my vintage T-shirt today.
I see that. You actually. Why don't you tell me? I don't think I have any. I think I got rid of all that when I left town 2 years ago. But
really, you still got those PG shirts you're wearing.
Yeah. Well, when you spend 2 years as a coach, you get free attire.
Yeah.
So
something like that.
Bob's never bought us a shirt, I don't think. Has Bob ever bought us a shirt? The one you got on is from back in the day. We used to get some shirts over there at the old place occasionally, but Bob's a little tight when it comes to the apparel.
These came from the bowling things
you sold some advertising. And
yes.
Yeah.
I have a red one, too.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever gotten a tire.
Yeah, I don't think Bob's ever given us a shirt. So
it's kind of sad. It makes me sad now.
Why?
We should have T-shirts. We should have station T-shirts.
No, I don't want T-shirts. I want like those things.
That's what I mean, station shirts.
Yeah,
Polo.
I want those polos. Yeah. So
you can sponsor that. You can get a sponsor for that.
You can get a sponsor for that?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. But I'm saying he could too get a sponsor.
Oh yeah, Bob could get corporate logo.
Oh, we could easily.
Yeah. Just Bob Del Giorno corporate logo.
Sponsor him himself.
Yeah, well, on the website, it's mostly just pictures of Bob.
See, therein lies my problem. That's what we get on a shirt.
Oh, just
we get a picture of Bob.
Get a picture of Bob.
No, not wearing that. No.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah. Not happening. Whatever. Is he back tomorrow?
He says he will be.
All right. So all plans are soft.
Yeah, but he says he'll be back in the morning on the leadoff man. I had to sit there this morning, but he'll be back tomorrow.
We'll see. All right. Apparently, we have more bowl games coming up.
We don't have enough. No, I didn't see that.
We've got 3 more bowl games they're going to add beginning in 2020.
And where are these located at?
Well, where would be your first pick if you were going to add a bowl?
Well, let's see. All the places that are cool that you'd want to go to are regularly there, unless they're going to the USVI or something.
No, I already tried that.
They got one in the Bahamas,
right.
But USVI is still American soil.
Well, they've announced a spot of 2 of them. The third one they still are working on.
Where's that?
Well, I don't know. The third one they're still working on.
But where's the 2?
Well, the 2 cool places you would go. One is Myrtle Beach, which is a Gulf haven in South Carolina. You don't figure that's really a big.
It's decent weather.
Bowl. Yeah.
Whose home stadium is there? Is there a stadium there?
I have no idea what's in.
You want to play it at a high school stadium?
I just play on the golf course. I'm sure you just put some seats around there.
Put one in Arkansas High. Yeah. I guess you can put one in a high school stadium there.
The other one is going to be in. Well, if you're thinking about it, typically a bowl game is going to be a December affair.
Yeah, so it's usually a warm location.
Yeah, right.
Somewhere else in the desert.
Chicago.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Hey, Chicago's in it. Well, New York's got one.
I know they do.
Soldier Field's sitting there. It's just a frozen.
They're going to do this one at Wrigley.
Oh, at Wrigley. Well, see, now it makes sense.
In what sense is that?
Well, it's such a great facility, Wrigley.
Yeah. Chicago and Myrtle Beach.
Now, what's the Wrigley Bowl going to be called?
I have no idea.
The Goat Bowl?
They haven't said yet.
What do we associate Chicago with?
They're still all playing with this. I'm assuming it's going to be some Wrigley Bowl thing. I'm sure that's what they'll call it.
Really? Man,
the Gum Bowl.
Who loses and has to go to that game?
It would be a Big Ten and an ACC affiliate.
Man, that's tough.
Now, they're already locked into having 8 tie-ins. The Big Ten is.
So pretty much everybody in the Big Ten. Well, does the Big Ten, they don't play everybody, do they?
They do
Because don't they have more than 10 teams?
They do have more than 10 teams. I don't know how that happened either.
Well, it's the same way with the Big 12, who has 10 teams.
Right. They have 12 now.
They got 12.
Yes.
So they're like the SEC. You're basically guaranteed a winning season as long as you schedule your non-conference games to be winnable games.
Is it 12 they have now? 14.
Yeah, whatever they have.
14 because they've added Maryland, Penn
State. But you're only going to play, 6 conference games. Or maybe 8 or
you're
whatever.
You're probably going to play 8.
But, by the time you had Northwestern and Purdue in, everybody's got a winning
Northwestern's not bad.
Illinois
is terrible.
But what I'm saying is, when you're those split conferences like that, you're going to play, 6, 7, 8 conference games. You're going to schedule 3 or 4 wins, talk about how tough your conference is and why you should get all the power points based on that.
You'll play one difficult school, 2 MAC conference or something else schools, which is kind of hard for the Big Ten, some of them these days.
Yeah.
And then you'll play the ones in your division and your automatics that rotate in the other division.
Yeah. So you ought to get your 6 wins to get in.
You ought to. You would think. Or at least 5 wins.
Because don't you just have to be 6-6 now?
Well, but with new bowl games, 5 wins could get you in.
If you have a good graduation rate.
Yes, and today...
Big Ten should not have a problem with that.
Today, the Pac-10 said they're no longer going to use the 5. If you have 5 wins only, you're not going to a bowl game.
Well, that's probably...
Pac-10's on the cutting edge of that.
They can schedule.
Yes. Chicago. They're going to do a bowl game at Wrigley in December in Chicago.
I wouldn't be down with that. I mean, that just doesn't sound fun. I love going to Chicago. One of the great cities in America.
No question.
Fun to visit Chicago. 2 or 3 times I've been up there. I've had a good time. And one time was the dead of winter. I went up there in December one time.
So you figure you're the 8th place Big Ten school, and your prize is you go to play outdoor in Chicago around Christmas.
But you're getting to take the wife to go shopping.
Well,
Michigan Avenue. If you're an alumni and you want to take, you're going to take the wife. You're going to sell it to the spouses. Hey, Michigan Avenue, Christmas time, all decorated up. It's really a neat trip. That was one of the times
Chicago's
I went up there.
City.
One of the times I went up there was during the Christmas season. Great city to be in. Cold as bejeebers. That wind off Lake Michigan cut through.
Yes.
I had some dress pants on one night. We went out to a blues bar, and I just remember that's why I was singing the blues. It was a cold blues. I was so freaking cold that when the woman came up, put the mic in front of me and said, "Everybody sings the blues," I started singing about how freaking cold I was.
Really?
Yes.
I'd like to hear that song.
It was, "I'm cold and I ain't coming back to Chicago this time of year no more."
Which is exactly the problem.
Yeah.
And now we have...
but I'm from the South. If you're from Indiana, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, I get it. But still sitting outside for a bowl game.
I'm not suggesting any Indiana team is going to qualify for a bowl. But
we now have 86 football schools that will be able to head to a bowl game.
That's the way it should be.
86 out of 140.
It's the way it should be right there.
Everybody's bowling.
Everybody gets a ribbon. Everybody gets a bowl wristwatch.
Crazy. I thought we were in the contraction of bowl game mindset here not too long ago.
That was your mistake to think that.
Well, but a few years ago, weren't they? Some of the bowl games hadn't survived and were losing sponsors. And we were waiting.
Maybe under this new economy that is so good, there's more money out there for bowling.
We were waiting for the Independence Bowl to shrivel up and go away, but it has not yet.
Because of this economy so good.
No, they found a sponsor finally.
Yeah, we can't bail out Social Security, but we can get more bowl games.
Priorities, my friend. It's all about priorities. We need alumni to be able to go on trips in December. That's what this is about. All right, we're going to take a break here in just a second. Michael Florek is going to join us next. Dallas Morning News. He is going to come on board, talking a little bit about this past weekend's state baseball championship tournament across the board. Argyle gets a win and a perfect season. And the folks at Forney spit the bid on the last day of the season and lose to a school that's only been around for 3 years. Eaton High School.
It happens.
It does happen. A&M Consolidated showed us that a few years ago.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. Florek's going to join us next. You stick around. You're listening to Leaving the Yard. Zach and the Professor here on 94.1 FM ESPN Texarkana. Coming back here in a couple of minutes. righty, welcome back. 29 minutes after 5 o'clock, leaving the yard. You're on 94.1 FM ESPN Texarkana. Chuck, Zach, Tony Kirk along with you, and hopping right on our Monster Energy Drink hotline is Michael Florek from the Dallas Morning News, who is joining us live this afternoon. Thanks so much, Michael.
Oh, no problem.
There you are, making sure I still had you. Big weekend in Austin. The state baseball championship weekend wrapped up on Saturday. Any surprises in your mind?
I wouldn't say that. I think it was just interesting that all the favorites actually ended up winning there. You had South Lake Carroll in 6A, Eaton in 5A, and Argyle in 4A. That's the first time the DFW area has swept the top three classifications there. But usually you see a couple upsets, a couple bounces go the favorites, go the underdogs' way, and we didn't really have that. The teams that I expected to win actually ended up winning. So.
Yeah, Argyle ran the table this year, one of the great seasons maybe in the last 20, 25 years in baseball in Texas. They are loaded to probably try and repeat again next year. I don't know if there's anybody in 4A that can stay with them right now.
Yeah, it'd be tough. They have 4 players committed to high-powered Division I colleges, and all those kids are coming back. And, I wouldn't bet on them to be undefeated again just because, as I mentioned, the bounces can go a certain way. But, I would expect them to be back in Round Rock or in Austin, I guess, in the 4A next year.
You talk about Argyle being so good. You know, folks up in this part of the state have been wondering, how come Argyle doesn't ever grow? You talked about South Lake Carroll. We saw them go up through the ranks for years. Salina's moved up and folks like that. How come Argyle doesn't seem to ever get any bigger or move up in classification?
Yeah, so Argyle's a little further away than where Carroll is. So I think it might be coming a little bit there, but it's everything is moving north. So they're up there in the north area. So I would expect, I don't know how fast, especially Argyle, but you see places around there. You see places like Prosper going up to 6A. They're building another high school, and they expect to be a 6A school as well eventually. So you would figure Argyle would get some of that population growth there. But, it all comes down to sort of the boundary lines and whether the houses are built out there and where the apartment buildings are. There's a lot of sort of demographics that go into it there.
Yeah, they're actually set up. We were talking about this probably a year ago, maybe a little less, that probably the 2024 realignment. I would expect there's still probably 3 more realignments away from seeing them bump up to 5A.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. As I said, everything's growing up there in north of Dallas, so you would expect they would get at least some sort of a population growth there. I know there's land out there and places to build houses. It's just got to have those houses be built.
You had a piece last week or a couple of weeks ago maybe about pitchers kind of changing mindset about speed, velocity all the time. I thought it was a really interesting piece about the couple of pitchers that Forney had. They got to the state championship game, were unable to knock off Eaton, a brand new school. But are you seeing a lot more of the emphasis on ability to be a pitcher, not just be a thrower?
Yeah, I think at the high school level, I think that was what coaches are sort of focusing on there. And as one high school coach I talked to mentioned, if you can get one really good secondary pitch, I mean, you're ahead of the game there. But, Forney was real interesting. They had Mason Engler, 4th-round pick of the Texas Rangers there. He throws 6 different pitches, and he's worked on that for a long time. Knew he didn't have the strongest arm, so really focused on figuring out the spin and the different types of breaks those balls can have there. The other pitcher, Jonathan Childress, will sign to Texas A&M. He's got 4 pitches, a really good slider. I would expect him to be a major league guy there. Just a lot of focus in the high school ranks on that. I would say in the strike ball ranks and the prospect showcases, obviously the velocity is the eye-popping number. The velocity catches the eyes of the scouts. So I think there's a sort of battle between those sort of 2 avenues of baseball there.
Michael Florek joining us live from the Dallas Morning News. When you wrote your piece a while back about this, I thought that was interesting. You kind of slipped it in there, and I don't know if there was as much emphasis on it as maybe should have been, but the emergence of Yu Darvish with the Rangers and bringing so many different kinds of pitches to the game in the Metroplex area sounded like it was the example or the sample that guys like Engelhard and Childress were looking at.
Yeah, England especially mentioned when Yu Darvish came to the Rangers, and he just started hearing about the different pitches he threw and the kind of the arsenal that he had. He started to really look at what Yu Darvish did and how he had the ball and things like that, and really sort of picked it up from them and just started playing catch with how Darvish gripped the ball and started figuring out things for himself. So yeah, it sort of had a direct impact on another Texas Ranger here as he gets prepared to sign.
Now, you write for the Morning News, and it sounds like you cover predominantly the high school beat. I'm curious, the Morning News, I'm sure, now has the ability to track hits on their websites and see what people are reading and what they're not reading online. How popular is the information you guys have for high school, say, compared to, are people reading more Ranger stories or Mavericks or Cowboys? Or, how does the coverage of high school stack up as far as readership?
So we have a high school only subscription, so people can pay $5 a month and only get the high school stuff versus a more expensive option for sports only or the whole paper. And that does actually really well. That's kind of one of our biggest drivers in terms of subscriptions is high schools. And I think it's just sort of part of the landscape here in the DFW area and in Texas as well. Obviously, it might not get the raw page view numbers, but in terms of subscriptions and what people are going to when they buy those subscriptions, it's right up there with the, I would say, Stars, Mavs, Rangers. Obviously, Cowboys is on a completely different level there.
UIL's getting together tomorrow. I'm assuming you're either going to be in that meeting or close to that meeting or standing outside when they come out. What are we looking for tomorrow? Yeah,
I think home field advantage is the biggest thing. So they're going to discuss a proposal for home field advantage in football, in the first round of football like they do for 6A and 5A. They're going to discuss extending that all the way through all the classifications. They're also going to discuss home field advantage in 6A for baseball, which I think would be sort of a precursor for that to extend and trickle down into different classifications as well in baseball and softball there. So I think those are the two biggest aspects I'm looking at as I get ready to head down there.
We've kind of we had this little brief conversation before we got you on, and Tony's a big proponent. This should have happened a long time ago. Why hasn't it? Why are we still sitting here with a first place district champion having to go someplace to play a game? What did you get out of getting first place other than you got to play the fourth place seed? This felt like it should have been probably done or addressed at least a long time ago.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. The UIL likes to start small and likes to start slow and then build it out. So you saw them get 6A with football and then build it out with 6A or 5A in football, and then they'll extend it now to basketball or baseball and then possibly basketball. I think, the only thing is as I talk to some other people, the small schools might not like it as much. They like the playoff atmosphere where they're going to a bigger stadium and a nicer stadium probably, and kind of having that atmosphere for their kids. I think that's the argument against it.
Well, I think part of it probably is as well watching some of these schools make a run toward a state championship. The faster you get to a neutral site game, the faster you're going to replicate what you're going to see down the road in the playoffs.
Exactly. A lot of coaches, especially in football, try to set up their schedule similar to what they'll expect in the state championship or the state semifinal games in terms of days and locations and that kind of stuff. So that's part of it as well.
Anything else you expect tomorrow?
I think some small changes you'll see and just kind of technical stuff. Equipment being used in spring, they're going to let the football teams use a little more of their equipment, their tackling rings and that kind of stuff, which isn't currently allowed. Just little smaller things. In June especially, not much overarching gets done. There's another meeting in October that goes 2 days actually, and that's where you'll see a lot of the bigger changes take place.
Are they going to do something as well about kids that get ejected from games?
Yes, they are. So they are going to, I assume this will pass, but they're going to let kids who are ejected, in football, they'll be ejected for that game and the first half of the next game. And in all other sports, kids who get ejected in one game will have to miss the next game in their respective sports as well.
You like that?
It's been a big problem with the UIL. They've talked about that a few times, just about the fights and that kind of stuff. So I would assume this, I don't know how much effect it's going to have, but I would assume it would maybe have a small sort of impact on maybe kids think twice about leaving the bench and getting in these big brawls, because I think we see every year you'll see 2 or 3 at least brawls in different sports there.
It tells you the power still, though, of ADs and head football coaches. You only got to sit a half as opposed to the whole next game.
Yeah, I think the reasoning behind that is you have less games in football, so they're trying to make it where baseball you miss 1 out of 35, maybe you're missing, in football you're missing 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 16 maximum. So I think that is part of the reason. But yeah, I mean, you could definitely make a case that it should just be 1 game for everybody.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Michael, thank you so much for coming. I got music in my ear. We got to let you go, but best of luck tomorrow. We'll be watching for your write-up on the UIL meeting, and thank you so much for taking a couple minutes today.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Michael Florek from the Dallas Morning News. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back. Last segment of the afternoon up next here on Leaving the Yard. 94.1 FM, ESPN Texarkana. All righty, welcome back. In about 15 minutes, still 6 o'clock, Leaving the Yard. Fox Sports Radio, 1400, 94.1 FM, ESPN Texarkana. Razorbacks and Gamecocks of South Carolina coming up on the AM and on 97.1 FM, since we now simulcast on both of those.
It's a nice, clear signal. I listened to a little of that this morning.
It is clear.
As I drove away from the leadoff man, I hopped in the truck and listened to some Dan Patrick this morning.
Booming. It's a booming signal.
It's a booming signal.
That's convenient for people who don't do the AM very well anymore, and that signal's a little bit weaker just because of the way the frequency works.
So nice to have 97.1,
yes.
Especially if you're a Ranger fan and you want to hear Misery loud and clear.
Jeez. They spit the bit all weekend.
Oh, they didn't get the bit spit. They're just not very good.
They're not very good.
Houston's got frontline pitching.
Yeah, both of them are at their season high and low water marks, apparently.
Yeah. So,
Rangers, 14 under 500?
Yes.
John Daniels got renewed.
He should.
Extended.
He should. I mean, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Chance to move some pieces this year.
Yes. I talked about this morning. Beltray should certainly be given the option to go somewhere right before the trade deadline.
With a chance to maybe win a ring.
And he's playing well right now.
Yes, he is.
I still don't think he's going to bring a lot.
He can't stay healthy.
There's not much tread left on the tire,
No.
and he has trouble staying healthy. Yeah. So, but there's 2 or 3 things about the Rangers to be excited about.
And those are you like Guzman.
I like Guzman. Yeah, and hopefully they don't screw him up. And I think it may come down to a Profar Gallo decision, and they need to get rid of Beltray to find out what they want. The secret is not Joey Gallo in center field.
Come on.
Did you see that last one?
You want to take away the Shields out of center field and put Gallo there?
Gosh, that was...
The Shields a Gold Glove potential.
He's pretty good center fielder.
Yes.
He's still not on base enough for a top of the order guy.
No, but
he's a good center fielder, and he has to be when you've got what he's got in left, which is Sinshu concrete shoe.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And playing with Gallo out in center field. I mean, I get experimenting. I get when you're 14 games under 500 and your last play.
That's what the rest of the season is. It's
yes,
experiment.
Throw stuff on the wall, see what sticks. Hopefully it won't stick.
But now
Gallo
that it looks like Gallo's not going to be the everyday first baseman,
right?
They need to find out if he can play third or is Profar a better fit over there? What's it going to be?
Well, where are you going to put Gallo? Just DHing? I mean, he's going to command a big paycheck for a DH.
Yes, but he is what is in vogue now, and is a market for what he does.
Yeah,
strikeout and homer.
That's right.
Yeah,
and not play defense.
Yeah, that is a market today. So you could have lived with his numbers at first base more than third base, and he's just. I just can't see him in center field.
He can't play in the outfield. I mean, he can't really play third.
The Ian Desmond transition to center field a few years ago, where they brought in Desmond from, where did he come from? Washington.
He was in Washington,
and it was a
now
great.
He's in Colorado.
Yeah, great, and he's had a nice career since then.
And he's hitting 190 again.
Well, yeah,
he's having a hard time this year.
But he was very good for a couple of years, and was a good center fielder.
Made a mistake.
Yeah.
Made a financial mistake. Passed up a couple-year contract and took the 1 year. I'll see what the market's going to bear after that, and made a mistake.
All right, can we move back to basketball for a minute?
Sure.
I understand. LeBron deserves all the piñata hitting he's getting today for wearing the cast to the press conference and all.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, he does. And I'm a LeBron guy.
Why? Why does he deserve that?
Because
if he actually, if the pictures that they showed, his hands swollen mattered. Then the season's over. I don't need to hide this anymore.
Just wait till tomorrow. Don't wear the cast to the press conference. Don't self-announce. Boy, Reggie Miller got all on him on the Dan Patrick show, and deservedly so, in my opinion. But what I want to talk about is what we should be talking about today.
Which is?
Why aren't we talking about, is this Golden State team the best team ever?
Ever?
Ever.
Ever's a long time.
Because we are a boneheaded Draymond Green, and
true,
from them winning 4 straight.
True.
In a Western Conference that is pretty doggone stout. Pretty doggone stout.
During this run, it has been. Let's do that. Yes, the Spurs were very good at the beginning of it. The Rockets are very good at the end of it.
It's not like they get a free pass.
No, it's not the East.
And have they swept Cleveland twice?
No.
Or just one sweep, and was it 5 another time?
5.
But truly, if it had not been for the Draymond Green suspension, they win 4 straight.
Yeah.
And I've been, in my mind, trying to run through teams that I thought were better. I think they're better than Michael's first 3 champions.
Okay.
The Ho Grant bunch. The second bunch, Rodman was such a special player that he would dominate this team on the boards.
No question.
But
would probably cause fits for Durant.
But yes, he would be just a pain in the butt.
He would cause fits.
He and Green would probably be getting kicked out every game because they would just be stupid with
I don't know. Dennis is smart enough not to be the first guy, or at least not get caught.
No, I agree.
I think Draymond can't control himself.
He's less likely.
Dennis Rodman could control himself.
Yes.
Now, he did stupid things, but he was never out of control stupid things.
Yes, so from that standpoint. But that's the only team, as I've been running through my mind, this team is so athletic in the way they play and so good with ball movement that you could say, boy, that front line of the Celtics, they couldn't handle it. No, they couldn't handle it, but they're going to beat you 3-2.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'll go back to the Showtime Lakers and say that team's problematic for anybody. With Magic and Jabbar and Worthy, with Michael Cooper.
But you're going to give up the 29, 30 points to Jabbar and not care. But this team will take away the outside shot, and who's going to hurt you with threes on that team?
With the Laker team? Well, the way that team was built, nobody. It depends on whose
this
rules
team
we're playing with.
This team is athletic enough to get up and down the floor with that team.
If we're playing with the rules of today, then this team's obviously better than that Laker team. If we're playing back a generation and playing with the rules of the 1980s,
hands-on,
then that Laker team was
better.
You
can always say the Pistons can beat anybody because they're just going to physically beat you up.
Well, and I don't know they could have gotten up and down the court. Jabbar wouldn't have been able to in his late years.
Yeah,
but we forget early 80s, Jabbar was still very athletic and was very good getting up and down the court.
But those teams, when you had Worthy as a finisher.
Yeah.
But Worthy wasn't an outside threat.
No, they really didn't have one.
Yeah.
And
maybe you'd say, well, but they'd learn and but this team's going to beat most everybody 3-2.
Or 4-3.
When I say 3-2, I'm talking about threes.
I got you.
No, 3s to 2 points.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean that Laker team was built to beat you at the rim.
Yeah.
They finished on the break, Jabbar's hook shots, whatever. They beat you at the rim. This team is going to beat you outside the arc. And I just think it's a shame that nobody's even having that conversation. This could be the best basketball team. This team has, in my opinion, 5 all-star players.
Yes. I want to. The thing that bothers me was the conversation that's come about 4 Hall of Famers. And I don't see 4 Hall of Famers. I see 2.
Who do you not see as a Hall of I see Green maybe not as a Hall of Famer.
I don't see Klay Thompson as a
Hall
of
he's
Fame
that good.
player. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. He's every bit, if not better than Scottie Pippen. He's every bit, if not better than Scottie Pippen.
See, I don't think so. Pippen was a better defender
not
and a
much,
better rebounder.
Not much.
Oh.
No. You're not appreciating what Klay Thompson does defensively.
I do appreciate him, and he may be the fact that he's the third wheel on a 3 or 4 wheel vehicle.
And he's a better
not
offensive player than Pippen ever was.
Well, he's a better outside shooter, certainly.
A better offensive player.
Yeah, but see,
he causes you more defensive problems.
Yeah, but see,
Pippen.
I don't go Hall of Fame with him. And Boston and I had this off the air conversation about it, and he is a basketball guy, and his thing was pretty much the same. And you got Curry and you got Durant, and the other guys, Green's not a Hall of Fame player.
No,
Iguodala's a great player, but not a Hall of Fame player. And Klay Thompson's a borderline at best Hall of Fame player.
If Iguodala, and this goes back to Durant's goofy statement today about being the only star on the team. If Iguodala was on a team where he's the only star on the team, what kind of numbers would he put up every night?
He'd be a 20-10 guy.
Yeah.
He would be. He'd be a 20-10.
Yeah,
He'd be
and might even
30,
be a 24 12 guy.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's that good.
Yeah.
And if he was the guy in the city and stayed and all,
But
he
he's
might
not.
be on the back end of a Hall of Fame coach. And
I
everybody gets into the basketball Hall of
But
Fame.
even in his heyday, he wasn't.
I'm just
a
saying
Hall
this
of Fame
guy's
player.
awful good.
He's gotten
And
better
he's
as
good
he's gotten
defensively.
older. He's gotten better as he's gotten older because he realizes in a team full of young bucks that he's the guy that can be the slower guy.
And that's what makes his team so good is he comes off that bench.
Yeah, no question.
I mean,
He's a great defender.
He is the John Havlicek of his time. And you got to be old to appreciate how important Havlicek was to those Celtic teams.
No question. Boy, a Hondo. Haven't heard a Hondo reference in a long time. Hey, we're out of time. We're back tomorrow. We'll do it again. You guys take care. Have a great afternoon. You're listening to Leave in the Yard.
Listening to Leave in the Yard on Fox Sports 1400 and 94.1 FM ESPN.
Thank you very much.
Our program airs weekday afternoons 5 till 6 on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and 94.1 FM ESPN. And on the free to AM Sports app. AM Sports app. AM Sports app. AM Sports app. AM Sports app.